Just because we are weeks into this pandemic doesn't mean that everything is now okay. And when I talk about everything being okay, I'm speaking to the emotional well being of your team. So, if you are a team lead, if you are a manager, CEO, business owner, and you have a team, this video is for you. I want to encourage us to intentionally create virtual spaces that are not only work focused and that allow us to check in on our teams. Because here's the thing, and I've experienced this, my clients have experienced this, my colleagues are sharing with me that they're experiencing this, where they're okay, they're all right, they're doing well, they're coping, and then all of a sudden something gets said on the news, or a family member says something, or something happens, and they are triggered, and it kind of emotionally takes them out for a couple hours, a day, longer than a day. And so it impacts, like, this pandemic is impacting our emotional well-being in a bunch of different ways. And of course, our emotional well-being impacts our ability to actually show up and be productive and move our goals forward in our businesses and in our organizations. And so I'm saying all of that to say, if you are a team lead, if you are a leader, a manager, a CEO in any capacity in your business or organization, I'm encouraging you to create virtual spaces that are not just about work, that you can use to check in on your team, all right? It's gonna make the difference in you understanding exactly what's going on with them, and you understanding how you're able to meet goals and move forward and maintain productivity in your organization. It's also going to make a huge difference when it comes to maintaining your company's culture, because transitioning culture online is such a tricky thing to execute. But when you create those virtual spaces intentionally that are not just work focused, but that really allow for connectivity among your staff, among your team, but also between yourself and your team, you help to translate that work culture online. And then when we eventually get back out into the physical world and our workspace will now be in the physical world, it also helps with that transition so that it's not stilted or broken at all, but you transition your culture online and then transition it back in person, and the communication lines and the synergy between yourself and your team and amongst your team members is not broken. It's gonna also increase team loyalty, because if your people know that you care about them, they're gonna want to show up for you and give you their best, and that's gonna move the company forward.